And we'll say the pledge of allegiance. Sorry. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Page,
Here.
Valley,
Here.
Painter. Here. Wolfersberger. Here. Cummins.
Here.
Right.
Here.
Okay, any public comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, we'll move into consent agenda. Any questions, Art?
Yeah, I do have, why you point me off that?
Close.
On the, it's furnace repair here, is this company, are they local? It's on page 7,
It's like $1,400.
yeah, for board and stuff.
I'm not exactly sure what Dude Silvers.
They're out of Guilford.
They're out of Gifford,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
We use them a lot personally, I know them.
In the future, I mean, if that's. I don't know why they got called somebody, this is somebody local, but you know, I think
We've used local ones before, like with that house that out there by the sewer plant.
Yeah.
They just had some issues. We've called them Kelso's.
okay,
So we do. I don't, yeah, I'd have to ask Mike exactly what we used, but I think they may have installed it.
well, if they install it, that's another thing. Oh, and a comment about that. I like the way the bills are sorted out, where you can really see what the part costs are compared to the other, having the two. And where you see all the power bills in the city and then the one, you get a realistic figure of what things cost the part. So I just kind of,
I'll pass that along.
okay.
Any other questions or comments? We'll need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Page,
Yes.
Valley,
Yes.
Painter.
Yes.
Wolfersberger.
Yes.
Cummins.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
Motion passed 6-0.
Okay, new business. The first item is the resolution of establishing the Peters Drive as an honorary street designation for Trooper Corey Thompson. Exhibit 6 of your packet. I know we talked about it and the verbiage is just there for the resolution, and then there is a little bit of a image.
I make a motion to approve the resolution establishing Peters Drive as honorary street designation for Corey Thompson.
Second.
Valley,
Yes.
Painter.
Yes.
Wolfersberger.
Yes.
Cummins.
Yes.
Right.
yes,
Page.
Yes.
Motion passed 6-0.
Thank you. We had a consideration of a revised quote for the mowing services. That information is in, on page 28 and 29.
My question to Joe is if we gave him all of them, does he need to revise his quote?
Make it less?
No, because he said, I gave you that quote thinking I was gonna get all of them. So then when he didn't get all of them, he raised the one at the,
right.
so if we say, okay, we'll give you all of them at the original price, it's actually lower than his advisor. So if you give him all of them.
I don't know, based on what he was saying, that he would, I think he probably also had a realization that he came in
Underbid.
low.
Yeah, I mean, his email basically says, I thought I was gonna get them all, so that's why I feel the need to revise it or something. But
Sure.
anyway, that was my question, but I'm still on board with it, but
We went low bid for every location, which means that we wound up with Fishers at the sports complex, and then Ryan at Hackler and Cole. Professional Outdoor Solutions decided they didn't want to just do the Baptist church. It wasn't worth it. So Ryan was the next low bid for that. So
that's what I'm saying, the bids are not that far apart, that if it meant if we gave him all of them, he didn't revise his one bid, he'd still be.
I'm figuring he gave a bid that was like a package, you know, like,
And that's what I'm saying, if that's the deal, then I would be fine giving him all of them. If he's not going to. raise
we
his
already
bid on-
did?
We've already.
We've already
gave it.
awarded the others.
We've already agreed to that with.
and
Ron.
even though his revised bid is higher, which and this is just me making an assumption, I'm assuming it's partially because he's not getting the whole bid, you know, he's just getting part of it and increased costs. But he's still lower, even at that, is still lower than the others
Right, no. I'm fine.
individually, I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
so,
Yeah, I mean, I'm still fine with
right, so.
accepting his revised bid and moving forward.
I think I'll add the language next time, if we do this again next year, saying something to the effect of, you know, if you wanna offer, which I did actually put it in there, if you wanna offer a package, offer a package if you want to bid per location.
Mhm.
But I'll make that a little bit more.
Now, in the verbiage for our contracts with them, it sounds like you already sent it out, but it's not that they have to mow every week, right?
It's
based on-
Schedules attached.
Yeah, so the language in there in particular is, the contractor must call the village 1 week before the scheduled service to confirm if mowing services are required for the following week. This is a per mow agreement and services will only be rendered when confirmed. The contractor should call the public works director to confirm these dates. The reason for per mow is in the event of drought conditions or other weather related issues when we don't require service. Okay, that's what it says basically. So if you all are fine with that, I need you all to say, yeah, make the increase price and then I'll get them.
You don't need a motion.
I would like that just to, with the amount that he's resubmitting, the 1,200.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Painter,
Yes.
Wolfensberger,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes,
Page,
Yes,
Val,
Yes.
motion passed 6-0.
Okay, next is the appraisal, for the two properties. Page 33, that information begins.
So this is the appraisal for the two current public works facilities. It doesn't commit you to anything other than finding out what it's worth, and if we were to sell it in the future, we have to have this done anyway, so. This is the same appraiser who did the work at the church recently.
well, let me ask you this, how long would the appraisal be good for? Cause this, I don't see this happening this year. Cause
So
this.
we asked Mark that before we did the church appraisal, and he said it's not like they have an expiration date. If it's 5 years from now or 10
You
years.
just got something to work with. I didn't want something to come back, so, well, we don't know about it next year, cause I,
Right, we should be good for a few years.
okay.
I'm fine with it. You give me the motion, I'll read it.
For both of them, yeah.
I make a motion.
I'll second it, giving me two to it.
Wolfensberger,
Yes.
Cummins,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes,
Page,
yes.
Sally,
Yes.
Painter,
Yes.
motion passed 6-0.
Okay, next item is the fence variance request, exhibit 9, which starts on page 35. There's quite a bit of information given there.
So basically, at some point, this board decided to enact a more streamlined process for reviewing fence variances. And that's what this is. Ms. Dean is wanting to put a 6-foot fence along the property line in her front yard on the north side of the property. Your zoning text typically requires that only a 4-foot fence is allowable, and so that's the maximum height that she's going over it by 2 feet. Basically, if you all want, you can approve the request, which is to put 3 panels, which would stretch 24 feet, which is roughly equal with where the concrete drive is in the picture. Or you can add more conditions to it if you want, a variance, you can be as restrictive or as accommodating to the original request as you would like to be.
I don't have a big opposition to that, but I would like to know if her neighbor was contacted. I mean, I hate to make a,
She just says in her report that.
I don't
she
believe,
thinks he will.
I don't think he will object, which means she didn't, sounds to me
Right.
like she didn't, I don't.
So you can we make a thing that.
I mean, I don't object to her doing it, but I don't wanna, I'm not
You
gonna,
can do that.
I feel like that there
If
should
the
be
neighbor signs off on
consideration
it,
for the
we're good.
neighbor.
If he doesn't sign off on it, then I would say maybe
Mhm.
readdress it at that point and make our decision.
Okay.
I mean,
My
With
letter,
her concern, I'd be fine just honoring it with her talking about camper or whatever, and if that's her, I wouldn't want to sit there and look at a camper all day.
my letter, state my opinion on what I'm saying here.
Yeah,
So my only concern is just that we're setting precedents by allowing this, and then you could be opening the floodgates. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, I'm just saying that's something to consider, but that's.
Again, I'd say if your neighbor's fine with it, then.
We have allowed that before because there's some property that, I don't remember where exactly it's at, but they wanted an 8-foot fence on the north side for the highway. And we went ahead and allowed that, but I think it's
Right.
prudent to say, if your neighbor doesn't object, we can do it. If they said it just as soon not, then stick to the code. They can have the 8-foot in the back and then, but not in the front, yeah. Which what she's wanted is the front, so that's just my opinion.
so what I'm hearing is that you all want, that you wanna have something in writing from the neighbor saying it's okay. And then,
Before we vote on it then?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with, I don't know, however you want to do it. I
You-
mean,
so-
if she got something from the neighbor that you can, say this is legit, then I'm fine with her doing what she wants to do.
Well,
Personally,
yeah, that number 4 said, don't think they'd object. If they don't object, then so be it.
Yeah.
so do you want to wait until you get the letter to put that conditional approval in place, or are you just saying if they, if you want the letter before you?
I think
before
that-
she does it.
Yeah, I think that'd be more prudent than coming in after the fact and then having the neighbor or neighbors, complain
Right.
about that. But you got somebody right next door to you that, was the most affected ought to have the say. So.
I think we should not approve it until after, because even if you say, we will approve it contingent on the fact that you get your neighbor's approval.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't want somebody to misinterpret that as, oh yeah, they said it's okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and do it. I feel like we should get the approval.
So, okay, so what I'm hearing,
Tabling it.
you're gonna table it until you get the approval from the neighbor. Perfect.
It's
And
with
then,
consideration, especially if we're making a variance that could, I mean, I was worried about it setting precedent as well, except that anytime it happens, you'd have to approve each individual case.
Exactly.
But still, I would not want to do it until I know for sure.
okay, so I'll work on getting that from her. She also asked for a fee waiver as part of this application. A little background on the, why we do variance fees in the first place is that typically we have quite a bit of cost associated with variances. And, you've enacted this, streamlined process where there isn't as much of a cost other than the normal permitting procedure typically. I don't think it's unreasonable to consider waiving it this time, but, we're working on a fee schedule ordinance. And I would, I can come back with a recommendation for like a fence variance fee that would be probably more reflective of the costs that we incur, if you all are okay with
I
that.
would think we give her a reduced fee, or you just want to waive it altogether.
Either if you want to waive hers altogether this time, or we can do a reduced, but I don't know what that reduced amount would be. I need to do a little bit more research on what a reduced amount would be.
I'd be fine with her paying the regular fence fee this time, but then coming.
She's already paid the regular
Okay,
fence.
she's paid
the
For the regular fence building permit, she's already done that, but a variance is something over and above. Yeah.
And then, so then you would just come up with the
No, I think
reduced
it-
fee for going forward when you.
Yes,
do
we're
the
going,
schedule.
correct.
I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
So are you all okay with
Yeah.
waiving it?
Yeah.
And then I'll figure out a one for the future. Okay, I'll work with her to get that from her neighbor. Yep.
Okay, looks like we have, no old business. It is 7:15. Village administrator,
Staff reports included, but we have a, public hearing regarding the TIF district on, April 15th at 7 p.m.
except minutes need to be returned. Yeah.
Okay, what about the 25th?
Yeah.
I had the 15th on my calendar, but you also have the 25th.
That's the,
That's the actual vote.
I need to look at my calendar. What is that what I put on there?
Well, you have the 15th, and here, then we have special meetings on the 15th and
So,
25th.
so look at my calendar up real quick for you.
I mean, I had the 15th on my calendar, but the 25th is a Friday.
I'm gonna be at the bottom.
We don't wanna be there.
So there's about 29.
It's Tuesdays, so.
Yeah, I
it's-
wonder, that's why we were confused, because that is the 25th.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I have that on my calendar too.
I put 20.
Yeah. You have a Friday in a week?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Village attorney,
Yeah, Joe had asked me to make sure I came in for a 2-hour presentation. No, nothing to report.
good thing, you didn't have that approved, so, Mike, anything?
Statement of economic interest for those of you that'll be back on the board, any of those filled out before May 1st, so I can turn those in. The online portal is not working once again at the county clerk's office. Yeah. It hasn't been for several months now. It's being updated. So if I could get those back next meeting or the second meeting, if we're ready to get those all turned back in.
Great, thank you. Public works reports in here too. The mayor's not here, so she doesn't have any updates. And trustees, any updates from anybody? Okay.
Nothing.
Not even
I
saying.
do have one question. Can I ask on this report you gave here? So it says that the Amerson is the notice indicating that our transformer is not sized appropriately for the job. So
Yeah.
is the 450 what's required because of the solar?
Yes, with the solar added into it.
And have they already changed that transformer out once, or they haven't changed it yet?
They stopped the project and then we have to upsize it. again,
Okay, because,
basically.
yeah, because I remember bringing that up to, I believe Rector, that they needed to reach out to them because they were planning on updating that transformer anyway, correct?
Yes.
And I was
sure.
Positive, I reached out to Rector and said, hey, before they finish that, you need to get with them to make sure it's sized properly, not that that's done.
No, I'm gonna look at real quick what, or I can share it with you here after, but yeah, basically, they have to upsize that again, so.
Anything else? We're not going into executive session, so we just need to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.